Alrighty, hello, welcome back to another video. So last time we finished off on some for loops and some nested for loops and whatnot, but today we're just going to jump into some while loops. Yeah, let's get right into it. So while loops. So as it says, or as it states, as it sounds, a while loop is something similar to like an if statement. Really, it's executes some code, like some segment of code if the condition is true. The key like little difference is that it'll continue to execute the code for as long as the condition is true until the expression is false. So like to demonstrate, let's just say x is equal to 5, and then while x is does not equal to 4, print x. Now, what do you think this is going to do? As I said, it continuously executes. Think of this as an if loop, or an if statement, sorry. So if this is true, if this condition is true, then it's going to execute, just like an if block. So the only difference is that it's a loop. So it's going to run over and over and over again until a certain condition is met. So while x does not equal to 4, which is equal to 5, it's going to continue to run. So this is just going to print 5 continuously. But yeah, I hope you got that. How would you do this now? So let's just say x minus minus. Sorry. Minus equals 1. So now it's equal to 5. How many times do you think this is going to run? So it's equal to 5, so it's going to run once. So it's going to be 5, and then it's going to run again, where it decrements the x. Now it's going to be 4. Now it's going to be equal to 4. And it's going to be like, hey, this is not true. So then it's going to exit out of the while loop. So in this case, it's going to run once, right? So let's do a little bit of an example here. So let's just say we have, square, which is equal to 1, and then let's just say we have while square print square. So while square is less than or equal to 10, print square, and then square plus equals 1. So just like the last one, but we're incrementing it this time. So square is equal to 1 in this case. It's going to run 10 times. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now square is equal to 0 in this case. It'd run 11 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Well, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah. And that's basically the while loop in itself. You can also include like if statements in this case. So let's just say, yeah, let's keep that actually. So while this is, well, square is equal to that, if square is equal to 0, print square. Actually, just print nice. So how many times do you think this is going to run now? How many times do you think there's going to be a print statement? Once, because this is only at 0 once, because once it hits 0, it's then going to run this, and then we're good. Yeah, that's basically the while loop in itself. In this case, how would you like exit out of the while loop if a certain condition is met? So let's just say if square is equal to 5. Let's set it equal to 0 actually, sorry. And we want if this is equal to 5, then we're going to use a keyword here, break. What is this going to do? It's going to break out of the while loop to escape the loop, really. So while this certain condition is true, then increment this. But if it's equal to this, and this is true, then break. the break loop, the break keyword will exit out of the loop. So run this. Sorry, we should probably print it just so you see something. So it's going to run 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Once it hits 5, this is going to be true, and it's going to see this break statement. Once it hits a break statement, exit out of the loop. Now, if you're questioning what I'm questioning, or like here, I'll just demonstrate. So for x in, let's have square is equal to cube. Doesn't make sense, but like whatever. For x in square, could you use a break statement in a for loop? If x is equal to b, then break. Print x. Let's see what this does. So if you said it was going to work, then congrats. So it's going to work for all loops. Yeah. But yeah, make sure when you are using like a for loop or something, you always have it incrementing or decrementing, or always changing once it executes the loop, because that way it's going to run continuously if you don't. Yeah, that's basically it for while loops. And yeah, so we're gonna do some more loops. So let's just say we have, I don't know, I is equal to 0. And then while I is less than 5, print let's print it's less than 5. And then I plus equals 1, just to make sure you increment or decrement whatever is happening, or changing whatever is happening in the while loop. Else print now it's 5. Now it's gonna save me some time here. What do you think this is gonna do? So we have a bunch of stuff going on here. So we have I is equal to 0. We've, like, as we discussed earlier in the earlier tutorials, it always follows a rule of execution. So execute this one first in this case, and then it's gonna be like, hey, it's 0, and it's gonna continue to run this until it equals 5, or less than 5, sorry. And then else, now it's gonna print now it's 5. And then for I in range of 1 to 5, then we're gonna print I. What is I in this case? Is I gonna change? So let's run this. What do you think? What do you think the output's gonna be? Obviously this is gonna print 5 times. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then it's gonna print this. And then for I in range of 1 to 5, print I. So for I in range, which we know that range will go start at this but not include this. Else print the loop is done, and then this is going to print outside a loop. So we should get a bunch of answers here. So less than 5 times, now it's 5. Now we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the for loop is done, and then we're going to print outside a loop. So a bunch of stuff. If you got that right, congrats, give yourself a pat on the back. Yeah. There's also one more keyword I want to go over. So in a while loop, there's another keyword called continue. So what does continue do? The continue keyword is used to kind of skip the rest of the code. So in this case, let's just say for I in range of 5. For I in range of 5, if I is equal to 3, then continue. Else print I. So what is it going to do? So it's going to print I from 0 to 5, but not including 5. So it's going to print 0, 1, 2. It's going to hit 3, and then it's going to skip over that. So you're going to notice, what do you think it's going to print? How about that? If you can guess what it's going to print before it's actually going to print, before I print it, then yeah. Anyways, I'm going to run it, and if you got it right, then give yourself a pat on the back. As I said, it skips over that specific element in this case. So it's going to skip over 3. Once it's equals to 3, then we're going to continue. We're not going to print I. So it's going to run this first. It's going to check it. So it's going to check 0. Is 0 equal to 3? No. Is 1 equal to 3? No. 2? No. 3 is equal to 3. Once it hits this block won't execute. Once it hits this, it then exits out of the loop and then runs the next number. So in this case, it'd be 4, which it gets here, and then it'll compare 4 to 3, which is does not true, and then we print 4. But yeah, pretty simple stuff. But yeah, that was the last little bit on loops I wanted to cover. If you have any questions or concerns, maybe feel free to drop them in the comments below. If you like what you see, feel free to subscribe, like the video. But yeah, I appreciate you joining me. Catch you on the next one.